when our success is predicated on our accomplishments or our accolades, it places value in everything external, everything outside of us. And we begin to undervalue the things that are inside of us, our character traits and qualities, such as our grit, our determination, and more importantly than grit and determination, things like our trustworthiness, our integrity. These are character traits that we don't value as much because these things don't necessarily translate into money. I can't say I'm gonna give you all this integrity and you give me $100,000 in return and now I'm rich. It doesn't work like that. And the world has made it so that as men, if we don't have a lot of accomplishments, a lot of accolades, then we are underaccomplished. We are less valuable than. And I hate this shit. And that's actually why I'm making this video. I'm making this video to encourage you to start placing that value and that validation on what's within. Now, this is not an easy thing to do. Like, how do you feel incredible if you haven't accomplished the things that you want out of life? That's a journey. But there are ways that you can do it, such as keeping your promises to yourself. And I think that that's one of those things that we don't really put too much emphasis on that we need to, is keeping promises with yourself. You see, when you keep a promise with yourself, let's say go to the gym every day like you said you were going to do, and you actually keep the word and you go to the gym every single day, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Maybe you stayed up super late last night, but you still were able to make it into the gym. You kept your word to yourself. What this does, little by little, is it builds trustworthiness, self-trustworthiness. Like, okay, if I give my word, if I say that I'm going to do something, I trust myself to actually get it done. Now, this is huge. And if everyone in the world knew the strength of actually keeping their word to themselves, then the world would be a different place, because this is one of those intangibles that it can't be quantified. It can't be measured. There's no guarantees of, okay, if you keep your word to yourself, 10 times in a row, then you're going to get this thing. No. But if you do keep your word to yourself and you do it consistently and over time, it's going to actually change who you are. It's going to change how you show up. And when you speak to somebody and you say, listen, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z done, it's done. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. There are no conditions or stipulations to the things that you want in life, because we all know and understand what it takes to get to where we want to be. Maybe you're an entrepreneur listening to this, and a goal of yours is you want to travel the world and you want to show your family these new experiences because you weren't raised like that. Well, listen, as that entrepreneur, you know that it requires for you to operate on systems. Your business needs to be one that you can work on and not in. And when you can work on your business consistently, your business will begin to grow. Once your business grows, you can scale it, you can expand it. But it does take for you to show up every day, have the proper systems in place, and also like delegate tasks, right? You already know what it takes to get what you want out of life, right? But the reason that we struggle getting those things or having access to those things is because we haven't accomplished step number one yet. And step number one is building the trustworthiness within. Now, if you can look at things, let's take the same example, the entrepreneur that wants to travel the world and show his family the world. We take that same circumstance and we say, okay, I know my business has to grow to bring in the income, which means that I need to operate on a schedule. My systems need to be wash, rinse, repeat. Whether it's raining outside, whether it's sunny outside, I need to operate baseline consistently, right? And you take your energy away from the validation of getting everything you want, and you put that energy into building up those systems and showing up each and every single day, even on days where you don't want to fucking do anything. You take all of that energy and you put it into the present moment. You identify your weaknesses, you adjust your weaknesses, you assess your environment, you play to your strengths. Yo, all of these things done consistently and over time, and you're gonna get more than you could have ever imagined. But this is so difficult to do. Why? Because it's also really easy. And the easy things are often what we overlook. if, you know, I were to tell you that in order to accomplish everything that you want in life, all you have to do is wake up consistently at 6 a.m. every single day. It sounds kind of easy. It sounds so easy that it's redundant. It's like, bro, whatever. But it's something that we struggle to do because it has that stigma of, oh, you know, if it's easy to overlook, then it's most likely not going to get me to where I want to be. The premise of this video, the reason I'm shooting this video, is because it's important for us to understand that accomplishments are a byproduct of the person that we have become. So instead of placing the validation on the things we want to accomplish and achieve and have, instead of placing the energy there, we need to place the energy within. And I know it sounds cliche to say, oh, just bring all of your energy to the present, pour into yourself and focus on you. But nah, like that actually is what it is. Understand that success comes with patience. Consistency requires patience. That doesn't mean you don't hustle. It was either it was Edison. Edison said, good things comes to the man that's patient. Exceptional things come to the man that hustles while he's being patient. So you have to understand that things are going to take time, and certain things are not in our grasp. We don't have control over everything. We can't control how quickly we get to that level, but what we can control is we can control how we show up each and every single day. And as you show up each and every single day as that version of yourself, you think about, how do I want to show up? For this video, I wanted to show up to you as somebody that is knowledgeable and has learned from experience. And that was my intention going into this video. This is the kind of intention we need to bring into each and every single day. How do you want to show up to that day, throughout that day, to these people? Because it changes from time to time. But if you can bring that level of intention to each and every single day, you're going to find that the world responds to you differently. And things will begin to move out of your way and actually attract towards you, because you've begun to focus and build from where you are. In fitness, there's a term called proprioception. And proprioception, it relates to knowing where your feet are at any given point in time. So if your feet are in the grass, maybe you get off balance because your proprioception is not right. When you wear shoes with the huge base, all of that extra cushion and support, when you're barefoot, you feel off balance because you have no proprioception. But we want to build real life proprioception, right? We want to build the awareness, the self-awareness to know where we are at any given point in time in relation to where we're going. That's what we want to do. We want to build that shit up step by step and brick by brick. And over time, once again, I'm repeating this shit because that's what life is. Life is just a repetition of particular actions. And you're going to have those days where it's rainy outside, bro. You're going to have them days where you feel like shit and you ain't want to show up. You ain't want to do nothing. You are going to have those days. And when those days come, it's up to you to continue to show up and repeat the same actions that you would repeat under ideal circumstances. There's a graph, and it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I think it's like Dunning-Kruger. And that graph speaks about optimism that we have toward new goals. So you set a new goal for yourself, or you set out on a new adventure for yourself, and you feel so good about this thing that, oh my God, I really, really want that. Oh shit. And then you actually take the first 4 or 5 steps and realize that it's going to be a little bit harder than you thought, right? And then that optimism goes away because now you have a little bit of understanding of what it will take to get there. And most people take that opportunity to walk through the back door and wait until they get excited about the next thing. And guess what? They do it all over again, and they're stuck in this cycle of excitement because they don't know anything. They figure out a little bit and then they crash, and then they start over with something new. What you need to do is you need to make it past that initial discouraged feeling. You need to make it through that shit, because the more repetition, the more consistency that you bring to the table, the more intention that you bring into yourself and how you show up to the world, eventually it's going to be a nice slow curve up, and you're going to say, oh, I can do this. I actually can do this. And notice there's a confidence that comes with believing and understanding and actually realizing, oh shit, I can actually do this. A confidence comes with that. But confidence comes from competency, right? And you can only be competent at something that, you know, you've studied from different angles and you've put the reps in. So competency in essence is consistency and intention. So focus on that foundation of consistency and intention, and understand that it's not major life changes that you need to make in order to get to where you want to go. Start with making your bed every morning, and I can guarantee that the person that makes their bed each and every single morning is going to get 10 times further than the person that doesn't. It's compound interest, like your bank account. You invest in this stock, you invest in this bond, you invest in this mutual fund, and maybe you put $1,000 in there. And over time, you keep putting 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and that 1,000 that you put in there 10 times, now it's $1 million because it compounds over time. So your small actions compound into incredible results. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm wishing you the best on your journey. If you made it to this point in the video, then I know that you're serious about your craft. Let's stay tapped in. Like, comment, subscribe. These videos come from the heart. I'm always open to having conversations with incredible people like yourself, because I'm here to help you grow, and maybe you have some insight that can help me to grow. So tap in, man. It's been a pleasure, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.